Alejandro Garnacho trained so well, but he's angry with me, and I like it. That is Ruben Amorim speaking before the game tonight against Tottenham Hotspurs in the Carabao Cup. Listen, fam, this is exactly the kind of manager Manchester United needed. I'll tell you why. Like this video, share it, subscribe, please. If you haven't, most of you do come and enjoy our videos and leave. Please do subscribe, and importantly, like our videos so that the algorithm is kind to our content so that they keep sharing it for growth of the channel. But let's get it, guys. Listen. So Ruben Amorim, speaking before the game, confirms, of course, that Alejandro Garnacho trained extremely well, that Rashford was sick. I think that's a lie. I think that Rashford was sick and he didn't train. Probably he's also going to be banished like Sancho was at some point. I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen that way. He needs to have a smooth departure. I don't think it's war. But anyhow, it will be difficult for Rashford to come back to play for Man United, to play games after what he said in that interview. I think even Amorim said if it were him, he would have spoken to the manager. They asked him if he were a player, because he was a player himself, that if he was in the scenario or a situation where Rashford was, would he talk to the media or he would go to the manager? And he said, perhaps he laughed it off and said, if it were him, he would go to the manager probably, but he says let's focus on the game. But I like the way this guy handles these media, these interviews. He was so prepared for this. But anyway, getting back to the Garnacho conversation. So he also speaks about Garnacho and says Garnacho trained so well and he loved it, but he was clearly angry with him. But he loved the fact that Garnacho was angry with him because clearly, like I said, Garnacho's fate was never going to be like Marcus Rashford unless he worsens the situation for himself. But for Garnacho, a young kid who felt entitled, always has to play, that's what he wants on the pitch. No one can tell him anything. The fellow players are complaining about him on the pitch because he's not tracking back, doesn't want to pass the ball to teammates, and he keeps playing every day. He felt, I'm a special kid and no one can comment about my game. Now, this guy comes in, gives him chances, and sees that he has got the potential and the talent, but he says doesn't play for the team, drops him. Now, not because he wants to eradicate him from the squad, but because he wants to force a response from him. You see, sometimes as a manager, as a coach, you've got to know your players and do things that are going to provoke the best out of them. I do remember the two managers who used to do that best were Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger. Thierry Henry said that Arsene Wenger just knew how to get the best out of his players. He would annoy Thierry Henry because he knew if you made Thierry Henry angry, he would give you the best game in the next his next performance would be the best you will see. Same with Wayne Rooney. These managers who know how to provoke players, the way Sir Alex Ferguson handled Eric Cantona is not the same way he handled Wayne Rooney or Ryan Giggs, all these other players. So Ruben Amorim is proving to be that kind of manager. And for me now, the ball is in the court of Alejandro Garnacho. And I'll tell you, if Garnacho does not respond, he's going to head out as well. I think for me, he has passed the first test because you're dropped for one game, train the next day. You have very good training. The coach is impressed by your attitude, puts you back in the squad. He sees you're angry. He wants to see that anger on the pitch. Deliver, do what he wants. And what does Ruben Amorim want from Garnacho? Play more for the team, work harder, track back with a good attitude, pass the ball when you have to. There's no individualism in Ruben Amorim's systems of playing football. Now, if Garnacho doesn't work on those things in this game, and I expect him to start by the way, but it's going to be his final, almost penultimate audition, if I should say. It's going to be a chance for him to impress the manager and change his view of him because he's young and he's talented. So he's got that benefit. I told you he's where Marcus Rashford was 2 3 years ago, 2 years ago probably. So Garnacho has got everything in his hands right now to come out there and take that anger and translate it into a performance that is going to impress everyone. Because, like Amorim has been saying, the things we see are what he sees. Players who don't want to work hard, selfish players who don't play for the team, who think it's about them. And, he has proved to them that it's not about anyone, it's about the team. Even if you're not the most talented or gifted player, so long as you play for the team and you play according to the instructions, you can get results. Now, if Garnacho does not feel like he can play for the team to get results with the team, but wants to get results for himself, he's going to be banished, for example, probably. he might also, find his way out of the team, because right now it is still a process of sieving players and seeing who is fit who is fit to play at Man United in the new standards that Ruben Amorim is trying to set for the team. This is what they call setting standards. Eric Ten Hag perhaps did not get the memo right, because I do recall him saying it himself that part of the things that he was told when he was getting the Man United job, one of his key KPIs was to set standards. Now, setting standards does not mean, really just banishing Sancho out of the club. Maybe he had to, but certain t- setting standards is even in terms of the bare minimum on the pitch. What do you expect from your players on the pitch as a bare minimum? Ten Hag failed to handle that. He tried to set standards by being ruthless, not by being not by being meticulous when it comes to what you need to give on the pitch. So he focused more on perhaps off the pitch behavior and attitude, and his how these players apply handle themselves around each other, but not what exactly they bring on the game. Yet that's the most important bit of the standards we're talking about. You need to work hard. You need to work for the team. You need to play for the team. You need to run. We need teamwork. We need effort, desire, hunger. That's exactly what you call standards for a team like Man United. Ruben Amorim is getting it right and spot on. Now, if Garnacho responds tonight, if he responds, and we shall all see it, I'm telling you, look out for the game tonight against Tottenham for what exactly Garnacho will do, because I expect him to start. If Garnacho does not improve, he's going to be edging towards an exit, because Amorim doesn't have a lot of time to go back and forth with these players. But the beauty is he has passed the first test, because in his own words, because Amorim didn't have to say it that he was impressed by him. He said it himself that he liked how he trained. That's why he put him back into the squad, and he's angry. That's what he wants. An angry talented player can either be a child and massacre himself, or he can give you a game of a lifetime. Now, Garnacho has a chance against a big team like Tottenham. This is a good chance for him to come out there and say, this is what I've done. And I'll tell you, if Garnacho performs, that will be a huge win for Ruben Amorim. It will be a huge win for the manager, because he will have sorted something that Eric Ten Hag failed to sort for a long time. Garnacho looked at some point like he's entitled to a start, even if he did mistake, just because he would pull one of his things, his selfish things he would do result in a goal. He thought he's untouchable. Like these kids be. When you're a star, you're praised, people adore you. You think you're untouchable, and the club revolves around you. You get a sense now that Alejandro Garnacho is being humbled, and when that happens and he starts playing for the team, trust you me, that boy is top talent. He's extremely talented. So let's wait and see what will happen. There's lots of news about Man United, including potential swap deals that I'll talk about in my next video. For this one, I just wanted to react to the press conference from Ruben Amorim that, for me, felt like this is indeed the right man for this Man United job. Like, share, and subscribe, and let me catch you later. My prediction of the game tonight: a win for Man United.